Please be advised that this recorded webinar has been edited from its original format, which may have included a product demo and other engagement features. To set up a live demo, please complete the form above on our website. If you currently are not on our website and are watching this on our YouTube channel, there's a link to the website in the description of this video. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Coordinating Enterprise Security Teams Against Online Cyber Threats. My name is Christy DeMeo Ziegler, and I will be your moderator. Joining us today is Fernando Zavalos. Fernando joined CSC in 2019 as Fraud Protection Product Manager and Lead Developer, bringing proven expertise in cutting-edge fraud detection technologies. With 16 years of anti-fraud cybersecurity frontline, he began his career in 2005 as a software developer specializing in .NET, Java, PHP, and various open source languages. Fernando is passionate about introducing innovative concepts to position CSC as the global leader in fraud protection and prevention services. And with that, let's welcome Fernando.
Thank you very much, Christy. Hello, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Fernando Zavalos, and in today's webinar, I will be discussing how should an organization position its internal team to combat online cyber threats. On today's agenda, what we will be reviewing is understanding the impact of online fraud on organizations. We also want to talk about the evolution of an organization's cybersecurity framework. We want to also assess your organization's current stage in cybersecurity maturity, and then establish an effective internal workflow and key performance indicators. We want to pretty much help you with that. Then we want to jump onto leveraging external enterprise to enhance your internal team's capabilities, how you can get help to your job to combat online fraud, and where does we want to show you where does CSC fit in all of this, how CSC is poised to help your organization, and then show you and demonstrate how our DomaincastingSM approach fits this necessity. So with that, let me go ahead and jump to the first slide, and I will be talking about the impact of online fraud on organizations. As most of you are aware, the FBI has a division called the IC3, and this division is the main purpose is to register and record online fraud. Whenever somebody, an organization or an individual wants to report that there has been some type of fraud committed online, they can go and report this to the FBI, and this is the division that will make a note of it and try to help with the recovery and investigation of the case. This organization or this division has told us that has been keeping track of online fraud for several years, and in 2024 they told us that the total impact of fraud reported to them was a total of $16.6 billion. This includes all types of fraud. We're talking about phishing, BEC scams. They also tell us that there's several indicators that that are part of this report. For example, they mentioned that $2.9 billion was lost to business email compromise, to BEC scams, pretty much. And this tells us, that organizations throughout across the internet, that everyone gets hit with online scams. The numbers that we see globally, the numbers that we constantly see growing, are ever evolving. For example, in 2020, the impact was reported as being $4.2 billion, and now we're talking about $16.6 billion. We see that the impact of online scams and online fraud is ever evolving, and keep in mind that this division only keeps track of online fraud in the U.S. because this is an FBI division. There is another organization called Gaza, which has a number that's a lot more scarier than that. We're talking about $1.03 trillion as a result of the impact of online scams. So this is something that every organization should be aware of, every organization should be prepared for. And this webinar is we're going to talk about how we're going to assess our organization and help you prepare for to become a more mature and prepared organization internally. We want to understand that whenever an online scam happens, there's if an organization is not prepared, typically this leads to chaos. Chaos is the state of disorder where the lack of an established framework leaves the digital presence vulnerable. It's adrift. It's exposed to threats, and there's no clear direction. If an organization is not prepared, this is exactly what will happen, and that's when the finger pointing starts happening inside an organization. Going through this process of understanding what is happening is will give your organization more clarity. What you want to achieve is clarity in the sense of you want to understand what is hitting you and to become and establish a more robust security practice that your organization will be able to follow. And eventually, once you go through this process, we want your organization to achieve the expertise level where your organization will be prepared not only from the experience that something has occurred, but also understanding how to react to this phenomenon. If your organization does not have a clear cybersecurity response or a framework or no plan at all, then one scam can easily cascade. It can become a snowball, and funds will vanish immediately, reputations will crack. So having this solid response and a team is of utter importance for every organization. So how do we reach these the current how do we assess the current stage of cybersecurity maturity of your organization? What you want to do is you want to start asking some of the questions that you see on the screen. You want to understand, how is your organization being targeted? Not all organizations get targeted the same way. Some organizations, they have a stronger online presence than others. If sometimes organizations don't even have a portal, but they still get hit by VC scams and other types of fraud types. But understanding how your organization gets hit, what type of processes or techniques the scammers are utilizing to target your not only your internal staff, but also your online users, that is where you want to begin. Then you also want to know who should take care of the online fraud. Is it your IT team exclusive burden? You want to leave this whole situation only to the IT team, or should it be a combination of other teams? Also, who should be part of this framework? Should it be only the IT team with legal? Should it be some type of the parts of the marketing department, for example, part of the team? So you want to understand all of this process, and then what this will give you is that it will give you a clear idea of who should take part of the response, the internal team, and also tell you how big your team should be, depending on how big your organization is, how much money are you losing, or how big the impact is of online fraud. This will tell you even how big your team structure should also be positioned as. And then one additional thing to mention is, what are your priorities? Who should fund this? In several cases, we see some customers that they said, we need all of your tools, but we don't have the funding. So having a consensus, an internal consensus of who should put up the bill for online fraud and to combat online fraud is something that you want to achieve internally, and have a clear idea of who should pay for that at the end of the day, who should pay for the bill. Then once we understand how we get targeted, what we want to do is we want to establish an effective internal workflow. You want to have a clear lead, a C-level lead that sets the direction of the team. This person or this group should have a clear leader that tells you, this is how we're going to combat online fraud. These are the tools. This is the budget, and these are how the team is going to be positioned. From the IT perspective, you also want to understand what are the assets that you want to protect. You want to also indicate that the importance of domains, who manages your domain names, and the security. From the legal perspective, you want to be able to understand who handles the compliance. If you are actually, if you need enforcement, online enforcement, you want to understand how do you achieve that? Who do you reach out to? What is the legal framework that you can utilize to achieve online protection and enforcement? And then, from the finance perspective, as mentioned before, how you can fund this initiative. From the marketing perspective, it's very important. You want to understand if you ever get hit, how should marketing respond to it? You want to understand what should be the communication to your shareholders, to your online users. All of that should already be, you should already have a position and a response. Sometimes a canned response, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to show the public that not only that you're prepared, but you also have everything in order and not to panic, pretty much. And then all of this is an ever evolving process. Once you identify how your team is positioned, who leads it, who reacts to it, what you're able to do about it, it will also start evolving in the sense of the fraud. Online fraud is always ever evolving. Scammers are all the time poking around to see what is broken, what window is cracked, so they can get in. And having your team be able to adapt and evolve is something that you want to achieve. What is hidden in your organization? What internal teams should be part of the response, and the how your internal team is positioned. You also want to start wondering about what tools are available for your organization. You do not want to be able to, in some cases, it makes sense to have internal teams to handle these situations, but in several cases, it makes more sense to have an expert provider to come up with solutions for your team. In some cases, it doesn't make sense to have a 24/7 team waiting for something to happen if your organization does not get hit that frequently. In other cases, it doesn't make sense to have, excuse me, a team waiting for something to happen on the phishing side when your surface of attack is on the BC side, right? So understanding that perspective, and then knowing and seeing what tools are available for your teams is what you also want to achieve. As your organization becomes more sophisticated, you will see the importance, for example, of managing domain names, right? You want to be able to secure your most precious asset, which is your domain name, your main domain name. You don't want this domain name to fall into the hands of someone that is not know how to secure it. We have several cases online where even the biggest names online were fell victim to the non-secure handling of domain names. So understanding, that is important. It's a secure asset that needs to be guarded by an expert organization is something that you want to achieve with your team. And also, to understand what tools are available. From the fraud perspective, for example, you want to be able to count with a team that is always and the grind of talking to ISPs, third-party providers, hosting companies, registrars, if you want to get the content removed from online. You want to have the help of an organization that is familiar with the third parties, so that whatever content removal notice is sent, is the third party is familiarized with that organization, rather than receiving an email from someone on an organization that they have not heard of before. So having that understanding of the tools that are available is very important. Also, from the metrics perspective, you want to be able to quantify how much fraud is out there. How much are we the only ones getting targeted this way? Is it a common occurrence? Is it more prone to my industry, to my region? Is it coming from domain names? Is it coming from some other organizations? All of that information is highly valuable. It's something that should be made available to the entire organization, especially for the metrics and the trend analysis. All of that information is very valuable in the sense to help you understand what is happening, what you should be focusing on, how your team should focus on protecting your organization, and what are the new tendencies and trends that are popping up all the time. So very, very important on that front. Now, one thing that I want to mention is, how does CSC fit, right? How does the company of CSC and the product fits to help you, to assist you in all of this endeavor of creating a robust online cybersecurity presence? We want to first establish that the domain portfolio management is extremely important. You do not want to have a very loose protocol of registering domain names. You want to establish a clear path of, if somebody within your organization needs to register a domain name, if somebody wants to launch a new product, if somebody wants to sunset a product, how should those domain names get handled? Who should own them? When you should not, when you should stop registering or paying for the registration of those domain names, understanding who wants to register a domain name that is close to that main domain name. Why do they want to do that? All of that information is something that CSC is able to help you with, not only by securing your domain name as a corporate registrar, but also making you aware of who is registering domain names near your main assets, who's trying to typo squad you, who's trying to be a domainer, right? Who wants to purchase domain names just to resell it to you later on at a much higher price. Understanding all of that information is very valuable. Then from the brand perspective, you want to be able to understand what is being said about your brand, who is trying to impersonate you from the brand perspective, who's trying to sell um, merchandise that is not produced by your organization, if you're a retailer. From the fraud perspective, who's trying to impersonate your brand and trying to steal customers' money or their private information. All of that information, having a provider that assists you with all of these services is highly important, and having someone that is an expert on each of these areas, extremely important. You do not want to reinvent the wheel and trying to come up with a team that can easily write a script that could potentially run and do the same. That's not the approach that we recommend. We recommend going with the experts, and this is where CSC fits the most, in the sense of that we're able to not only collaborate and make you aware of all of this information, but also we have come up with what we call a platform. We came up with a platform that is called the DomaincastingSM platform, and this is where we make available all of this information that I am mentioning to our customers in an organized manner. I'm going to show you a couple of screenshots of this platform, and we'll be doing a much detailed recording and webinar about this platform, but just to give you a glance of everything that you have at available at your fingertips with the DomaincastingSM platform is highly important, and will be something that your teams, as you build your cybersecurity response team, this tool will give you a lot of information that is very valuable to your team. It will make your lives a lot easier, and will also become an extension. It can become an extension of your team, where we give you tools where not only that you get information in, but also if you want us to help you, assist you with enforcement and investigations, monitoring, all of that information, all of that tools are already integrated into this platform. Highly valuable, and I highly recommend that you take a look at this platform. If you want to, we can reach out to you and give you a demo of this platform. For example, on the first slide, let me go back to this one. We give you information about everything related to your domain security, and portfolio will give you details about your DNS providers, your SSLs. From the brand perspective, we can also give you details of who's talking about your brand, where's your brand being resold without authorization, who's infringing upon your trademarks, and all of that. From the fraud perspective, we can also give you details of who is trying to scam your online users, where are they located, what TLDs, what ISPs are using, what methods are they using? Are they using phishing? Are they using VC scams? That information is also available on this DomaincastingSM platform. From the 3D perspective, we can tell you what domain names are being registered, what trends are being used to combat to target your organization. All of this information is available. If you want to go and dive into the details, you can go and utilize this platform to dive into details of each product. Here, for example, I am showing you the fraud protection side, where you'll be able to dive into each brand that we are protecting for your organization. You can see where the scams are happening. You can see the details of each takedown and enforcement, details, technical side, all of that information. And then also, as we collect information for all organizations, we can give you details on how is your organization being targeted, where the scams are happening, how do you compare to other organizations, and so forth. All of that, this information is available in our DomaincastingSM platform, and I'm pretty sure that as you go through the path of becoming a more mature cybersecurity organization, or cybersecurity need, your team, this platform will meet all of the needs of this internal team. Very good. So that's as far as I wanted to talk about the DomaincastingSM platform. I also wanted to mention from the cybersecurity team and from the fraud perspective, my team has received the Fraud Solution Award of the Year. We received the Cybersecurity Breakthrough Award for 2025, and this is due to our resilience on making improvements and collaborating and with our customers and extending all of our services and becoming a true extension of our customers' team. So highly happy about receiving this award for my team. They're at the end of the day, they are the ones that do the most of the work. So just want to mention that out there, that you'll be, if you are working with us, you'll be receiving the hands of the help of an expert on the matter, and highly awarded team. Very good. So let me go and dive into the final takeaways. Just to close the webinar, what we want to mention is that we want to be able to identify your organization's online presence and needs. Once you go into this path of consolidating and maturing your internal team, you want to identify what is the needs of your organization's online presence. You also want to organize an internal team to evolve from chaos to expertise. As mentioned on the slides, you want to understand, prepare, and then become the expert in response to this phenomenon. You also want to identify the tools and the third-party teams that are available outside to help your organization, and then secure your assets with a corporate registrar. Highly important. Utilize online enforcement services to become a hard target. At the end of the day, every organization must reach that level where you become a hard target, so that the scammers don't waste time and they just move on to the next organization. They stop bothering you pretty much. And then access information that is that helps your team become a more proactive rather than a reactive organization.